Hello. Yes, I have not killed myself just yet. Miracles. Okay. Um, obviously, we had millions and millions of views the last episode. Millions. So I apologise to the 7.9 million views we had. But just in case we get any more viewers, quick recap. Well, firstly, why am I doing this? I suppose, again, just for myself, selfishly. Um, Again, my support network, I've got some great people in Manchester, but the majority of my really close friends are in London, and they've got kids, and it's hard for them and it's hard for me. And so this is for my own sanity. And it'd be interesting maybe in a few years to look back and see the progression, or, you know, who knows. But also, and I genuinely, honestly mean this from the bottom of my heart, if this could just help one person, knowing that it's okay to feel like utter shit when you lose somebody, when you're grieving. It's normal. It sucks, and it doesn't get any easier. Um, so yesterday, the last episode on Saturday. This is Monday. This is Monday evening. I feel awful, by the way. I think I've got flu coming on. Mm. That will be the drinking and the things I haven't ate for the last 7 days. I've hardly eaten. I've lost all my appetite. Probably yesterday was the most I've eaten since this has happened, which is 8 days ago, a week yesterday. Um, so quickly, Gaia, my now ex-partner, was the centre of my universe. Perfect. And she sat me down when we were going to discuss the housing options for our new contract, which runs out in about 4 weeks now. Basically, dropped a bit of a bomb and said she's fallen out of love with me. And, what do you say? I do, but I honestly believe this, as much as it would be horrible and nasty. Sometimes I do wish it had been an affair, or, she'd done something terrible. Because hate, as much as it's a tiring, draining emotion, it's very black and white. There's a definitive end to the period. And yeah, but she fell out of love with me. And I hate myself because I know I've pushed her and pushed her and pushed her away since moving back to Manchester 3.5, nearly 4 years ago. Um, you know, from everything to the dramas, my job. I'm having a stroke, not the flu. I'm having, countless job issues, financial issues, um, and yeah, it came a bit too much for her eventually. But she's got the patience of a saint. You know, trust me, many of you would have made this decision a long, long time ago. That's a fact. So yeah, she's an angel, and that's that. It's hard. And if a lot of my friends have said, and I spoke about advice last episode on Saturday. Everyone means well. It doesn't mean it's correct advice. What works for some people might not work for others. We all respond to different techniques and different advice. Um, but you know, yeah, it's hard. I've lost my train of thought. But yeah, the advice, you've got to work on yourself. You've got to work on yourself now. You shouldn't be too hard on yourself. That's what I was going to say. You shouldn't be too hard on yourself. But I call that out because how am I meant to, as tough as it is, how am I meant to grow as a human? How am I meant to stop this happening again? If I don't address those problems, you know, to simply brush them off and not agree with them, I think is more cowardly. I think you've got to face up to the things that somebody says, whether it be in an appraisal, a parents' evening, or you know, whether it's your long-term partner leaving you, you have to take that on board. And you're not going to agree with everything, but unfortunately, in this case, I do. I think that's what really hurts. Again, so I'm not my biggest fan at the moment, but that's going to be part in the future of fixing things, fixing myself. So that's basically it. We're still living together. I mentioned the last episode, not yesterday. I mentioned it on the last episode. This is vegan protein, by the way. Mango and pineapple. It's gorgeous. She bought it for me. And yeah, that's going forward. We're still living together. 4 more weeks. We move out at the end of February. If you ever see me looking down, by the way, because I write notes, because my head's at my bum, and it just keeps me, at least, for everyone's benefit, going forward. And if you ever see me looking this way, it's because I keep getting confused that the camera's there. It's not there. It's there, and I might need to put like a post-it stamp. Look here. But that's one, and yeah. And you'll notice also since last episode, a microphone, and I hope that's investing in yourself, people. I listen to your advice. I've invested in myself. Again, not strictly true. She also got me the microphone. We might talk about that later. Again, she's just amazing, generous. So it's been hard, but good news. Good news. Today, I think, is the first day in 8 days I haven't cried. Not cried today. There is still about 4 hours left, so there is always time. There's always time to have a breakdown. But I have not cried today. Probably because I've been at work, and you'd quickly lose respect of your peers if you started breaking down. But yeah, so I haven't cried today. That's a positive. But again, I'll keep saying this. Now's the weird period where we're waiting to say goodbye to each other, and we still share the same bed. We still hold each other every night, and we still hold each other every morning, because we're adults. And if, again, I understand this, by the way, maybe it's like self-harming to an extent, but I don't want to tarnish the last 7.5 years, 8 years, whatever it was, of memories, because we're not like that. So we could be moody, shouting, smashing things, but then the history gets tarnished and you don't remember those moments. And we've got far too much respect for each other to do that. So that's great. Somebody also, I might have mentioned this, the last one, I'm not too sure, and I apologise, but a friend of mine, a Brazilian friend of mine, she said something I thought really resonated. And I told Gaia what she said. And I think it resonates with both of us, and that is, you learn a lot about somebody during a breakup. You learn a lot about somebody during a breakup. And I think that's where we're at. We're treating each other with respect. So, again, we went to the theatre last night. We went to the Lowry in Salford to watch Jonathan Pie. It was amazing. I got to meet him afterwards. Fanboy. I got a photo. I might put that on my Instagram, but I don't look good in it. I don't photograph well. Not with this FOD. Beams of light, which, even if it's night, just find a way, like, bouncing off my forehead. But it was an amazing night. And what was sad is we know there's not going to be many more of those, if any. Certainly maybe not just the both of us. And it was so nice. It was lovely. It was really, really, really nice. It was just a fantastic evening. Fantastic evening. I loved every second of it, but of course it was sad, because you also understand this is what you're going to be losing. But the train's going to hit me at the end of February when you see the boxes going in the van. You know, and I said it last time, it scares me. I'm actually really scared about how I process that in the time and the days after that first day in a bed on your own in a different house. And, you know, what do? You know, we'll deal with that in a few weeks. And I'm sure the 7.9 million viewers will be there for me. So I really appreciate your support. Where is my head at now? It's not changed. It's not changed. I'm really not feeling well. I've got this awful flu coming on. But I've got some big decisions to make in the coming next few days, which are not nice decisions. I've got to choose where I'm going to go and live. I've had 3 amazing offers off 3 amazing people. Well, 2 of them are off the same person, and another one is off a friend of mine in Stockport, and just the most generous offers, where it's going to allow me to save quite a lot of money in a short period of time, to really have choices, maybe in 3-4 months, to really decide what's the next step of the journey. And yeah, I'll always be indebted for those people. So I've got to decide which one of those offers I need to take. It's not even about convenience for work, actually. That would be quite easy out of the 3, which one I'll take. There's one in Denton, and that would easily be the most convenient. But it's not about convenience. It's about who's going to be near me to pick up the pieces when I'm an effing mess. I'm a mess. So I might rule out one of them. That's the one who, you know, thinks you should put on your best suit in front of her, and even if you're going out to buy a pint of milk, you know, look £100, and only cry in the shower, and go and see a prostitute. So maybe that's probably not the best option, is to go and spend my next few months with him. But I'll never forget that offer, and I still might take it. Maybe that's what I need. I'm joking. No prostitutes yet. My mum might be watching this and she'll be horrified. So that's the coming days. I mentioned also in my other episode, I'm in the process on my head chef, and I'm opening a new pub/restaurant in city centre Manchester. I can't tell you where or the name, so I think I'd be breaching a lot of things in my contract. I could get in a lot of trouble, and I need to be employed at this time right now. So I'm not going to mention where. And yeah, I was really dreading coming back and starting this recruitment process. I've got to recruit like 10, 15 chefs. A sous chef. It's the second in charge, by the way. But actually, it has been a big help. It's been a big help. I spoke to HR on Friday. Again, I think I might have mentioned it. And the lady who's in charge of HR couldn't have been more supportive. And we'll go from there. That's in the next few days. That's about it, really. I think that's about it for today, guys. I need to eat better. Another thing also, I've never been a drinker. I socially drink, okay? That probably goes back to the time where I pooed my pants in the back of a taxi in Reddish in Stockport when I was 16. I think that's probably just imprinted on my memory bank. So I don't want to poo in a taxi anymore. That's never a good look. Not for a 42-year-old. And yes, but I have been drinking way more than normally. Certainly for myself, where maybe I have 2-3 pints a week. Probably not even that. I could go months without drinking. But now I'm drinking most days. I haven't drunk today, which is a good thing. But really, just to numb the pain. Just to numb the pain. I used to be a big pothead, something I'm quite embarrassed about, actually. And I don't do that anymore. And I certainly don't want to go back to that lifestyle and those life choices. And also in my head, again, with what's happening at work in the next 2-3 weeks, opening the new site. yeah, and my head needs to be in a good place. I need to be focused. So I need to start looking after myself. I need to start eating well. I need to run more. Yeah, I need to get back on my feet. Just for work's sake. Obviously, this isn't going to stop again. The timing again, end of February. We'll make sure this doesn't stop for a good time yet. Next time, I'm going to make a note of this. Next time, I'm going to talk about what I'm doing. I've got a thing in my head, what I'm going to do at the start of March. It's the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and Monday. It's the first 4 days of March. I'm going to talk about that. How I might, make myself feel better temporarily, but it's still a bit odd. And you might think it's really weird. I'm going to be doing that, hopefully, if everything goes to plan. And I'm going to talk about potentially what me and Gaia have agreed to going forward. Certainly in the next 2 months. I think we both need it. I think I certainly need it. You know what? We can talk about that now. How long have I been on? 6 minutes. Yeah, we'll talk about that in the next couple of days. Otherwise, I'll just run out of things to talk about. So we'll talk about that next time. What I'm doing in the first stage of March, and what me and Gaia have agreed to for certainly the first month and a half, 2 months of the separation. But yeah, thank you, and I can't believe I've got so many followers already.